Alrighty, and we are live with Writing Sprint Wednesdays on this wonderful, it's July 2nd today. And that alone is not an issue, but it comes with this cursed knowledge. Who was it that dropped it in the chat here? Because I am mad at you, Ashley. First message that I see in the chat. As of tomorrow, we are closer to 2050 than we are to 2000. Oh, excuse me while I puke over here because that is just a vile thing for you to start our sprint with. But it is crazy and it's hilarious. You know, my better half and I will talk all the time about someone coming into the workforce and like they were born in 2000. They were born in 2005. And I know we have some younger folks in the sprints here, and you know, I'm not trying to stigmatize you or say that you are lesser than, but the fact that your birth year starts with a 2 just makes me feel like I'm gonna cough up dust or something. Okay, let's see what's going on. I had some stuff that I saw in the chat going on here that I want to point out, but we got to say hi to Ashley, the bringer of cursed knowledge. Hi to Samantha. Elena, congratulations on finishing your second epilogue when you do it today. But more importantly, happy 24th birthday. Hold on. You're one of the cursed the cursed years, the year that starts with a 2. Well, sorry for insulting you on your birthday, Elena, but I'm not sorry because you made me feel old. But happy birthday. That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm glad you could join us for a birthday sprint. NJ is here sharing some great trivia. When crows feel ill, they find an ant hill to stand on, let the ants crawl over them. Doing a lot of yard work yesterday, and ants kept crawling on me like a dozen at a time. Ugh, worse than knowing the fact that Ashley shared at the beginning there. JM Brown, hello, hello. NJ, I saw that you also get to have a booth at the Meet the Teacher night with some signed copies. That's fantastic. Congratulations on that. Let me keep scrolling through here before I get all caught up on everyone. Keo, hello. Thanks for joining us. Athena, hello. Let me keep going. If I miss you, you know, call me out on it. Emily's here. Hello. Emily, I have notes here that you should be revising, so that better be what you're working on today. Iva, hello. Who else do we have? David, hello. Sylvan, it has been a while. You're on a break from teaching for a month and you're ready to get back into writing. Well, welcome back. I'm glad that you could be here. That's awesome. Hello, Hope. All right. Renee, hello. Reed, hello. Oh, hi. Dot, dot, dot. Classic Reed. Ashley, you're 40 next year. We'll celebrate during a sprint. Excellent. Okay, how much time do I have with y'all before our first sprint starts? That'd be a minute and a half by the time you hear that come through the ether that is the internet. I'm gonna make sure the links are below me, but I'm going to drop the first link in the chat there. NJ, I feel like I need to practice signing my book so I write it right. Before my first ever book signing event, I took a solid hour to not only just practice my signature, but come up with a new one, because the one that I used before was the same one I've been using since I had to sign like my first thing, right? 14, 15 years old, 16 for a driver's license. So I spent a lot of time coming up with one that didn't look so childish. um, what else is going on here? What else is going on? Athena saying the passage of time is a beautiful thing. You know what? There is beauty in it. But I'm not I want the beauty without the consequences of aging. Is that fair to say? I want to have the beauty of my cake, but I also want to eat it. All right. And I saw, was it Athena that asked this? Somebody asked what everyone's drinking today. I'm on water duty right now. I had my coffee this morning, and now I'm drinking some water. All right. We have 15 seconds here. Emily is revising, going through moments of overwhelm. It can be pretty overwhelming, but you have people resources to back you up. All right. I hear the beeping. Uh, Sylvan's birthday also starts with the 2. I'm not going to shame you. I will see you all in 20 minutes, though. Happy writing, everyone. All right, folks, and that is our first sprint of the day done. How did we do? I'm going to grab us the second link here in just a moment, paste that into the chat, and then celebrate some wins. Let's see what's going on here. There we go. And there we go. I got a total of negative 26 words because I'm still revising. um, all right. Let's see. Let's see. Keo has no intentions of writing today, but just felt like vibing in the chat. And you know what? I appreciate that you're here to just vibe. That I was thinking before the stream started actually at how busy the chat is with everyone just chatting amongst themselves, sharing stories, sharing all the important stuff, and some curse knowledge. Just how thankful I am to have this really cool community as part of my job, and I get to hang out with you every Wednesday and then some. It's really cool. Not a lot of people get this opportunity, and it's just I don't know. I was feeling thankful today. So Keo, thanks for giving me a way to slide that in a way that's not too cheesy. JM Brown got 319. Awesome. Ashley 702. Fantastic. Athena with 426. Great job. Emily 160 with revisions. Hope 451. Reed 370 and David 232. Great job, everybody. Samantha's doing some fun critiques for a friend. Yeah, not for friends, for a friend. They've done a great job and you're so proud. Well, that's awesome. That's fantastic. Iva got 538. Stacy got 121. Great job, Stacy. Sylvan got 551. Not bad for a first sprint in a couple months. Exactly. And it's only going to go up from there if you join us for the next little bit. NJ editing. So not sure how to mark progress. You can do it by the time spent. You can do it. I mean, I'm technically editing, get to make a joke about negative word count, but I think time spent editing is a great measure of progress. Elena 269 or 369. Fantastic. And Renee is also editing, added 95 words. David, glad to make the Doug happy. And Hope loves cheese. Excellent. NJ, I'm glad that it's fun. That's awesome. Yes, thank you, Keo. Awesome work, Emily. That's fantastic. Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. You told me to hold you account just so we're all aware. Okay, I'm not bullying Emily. She said that this was something that would be helpful. So so that's what's going on. Let me do a few clicks behind the screen here, or behind the scenes. I guess I'm technically behind the screen too. I don't know. A few clicks behind the scenes to get ready for the next one. Do I have a Dugget for today? Yes, I do. How much time do I have? I have 2 minutes. Okay, something I've become recently quite interested in is the neuroscience, the psychology behind consuming versus creating. And maybe I'll post about this over in W sometime when I get around to having the time to do it. But both creating and consuming make you happy. They give you a little dopamine hit. But studies have found that creating creates this much longer lasting, much more effective dose of dopamine than consuming does. And the analogy that I saw was that you can watch Netflix for 8 hours and feel like an absolute vegetable at the end of it, or you can, in our case, write for 3 20-minute sprints, and you're going to feel a lot better about yourself than 6 times, 7 times the amount of time spent getting dopamine through consumption rather than creation. And so that's just, I mean, it's not necessarily a Dugget, and I think there's more to explore in it compared to my last Duggets that we've had anyway. But something to keep in mind, there is so much stuff vying for your attention these days, us included, right? We have a YouTube channel. We get to do these things. I like to think that the content we produce is valuable and helps you reach your goals. But your attention is one of the hottest commodities right now, and there's a lot of money trying to get more of your attention. But the most satisfying thing that you can do, and something we should all try to do more of, is create rather than consume. And I'm even having this idea, and I've toyed with this before, but now that I'm on this kind of consumption versus creation kick of writing a toilet novel, because we're all guilty of watching reels or TikTok videos or shorts. Don't judge me when you visit the washroom. So why not get 50 words done instead? On that note, on the bathroom note, our sprints are starting. I'll see y'all in 20 minutes. Happy writing. All right, everybody. So ends our second sprint of the day. My face big there. How did everybody do? Let's take a gander. I got negative 65 words that time around. All right. Bear with me for just a sec here while I grab the link for our third and final sprint, though it is below me as per usual. Dropping that in the chat there and getting all set up before I celebrate some wins with everybody. There we go. Okay, let's check on the chat. Ashley, 644, JM Brown, 669, Athena, 459. Great job, great job. Hope, 452. Awesome. David, 360. Excellent. Elena finished the second epilogue at 268 words there. And now on to a new project. I appreciate keeping up the momentum, especially on your birthday. Again, happy birthday. That's fantastic. What a great thing to have happen on your birthday is to finish a project. That's awesome. Reed got 1608 that time for a subtotal of 1979. That's fantastic. Renee added 75 words, but will be cutting a big section of the scene at the end. So I think it'll be end up being a negative, and that happens. Right? That happens all the time. So that's good. NJ got through 22 pages. That's awesome. Great way of measuring that. And Sylvan, a little less than 324, but still happy. And so you should be. That's great. Ivo with 524. Awesome. I echo Samantha's sentiment here. Great work, everybody. So proud of you all. And Emily, about 200, still summarizing characters. Excellent, excellent, excellent. I want to scroll back up to what we were chatting about before, because a couple things were said. Kyo saying, I'm exhausted after playing video games for an hour, but I could write for 5 hours and still have the energy to keep going on. So I can vouch. I wish I could keep going on after 5 hours of writing. You have more creative stamina than I do. But I completely agree with this. And I also want to say it's not just the energy levels that's different, but it's the satisfaction that comes with it. Right. And even an hour of writing brings so much more satisfaction than 5 hours of gaming. Take it from someone who has gamed for 5 hours many times. Often, especially if you're playing a competitive game, you end up just being frustrated at the end of it. It's not fulfilling at all. But that's not to say that playing video games isn't fulfilling, because even that there's an element of creation in that too, or at least accomplishment, right? But when we boil it down, especially like short form content, God, I'm so guilty of it, and now I'm trying to do what I say we should all do and practice saying no to things. And so when I find myself opening up Instagram to look at reels when I have a moment, I actually say no, and I close my phone, toss it away, or I go and open up like a spreadsheet or a Google Doc or something that I have on my phone, or Dabble and jot down some story notes, right? You also have to be cognizant, though, that you don't want to over emphasize or burn out on creation. We have a minute and 45 seconds here, but like you don't just want to say I'm never consuming again, because that's not sustainable. That's not realistic, right? But and to replace it with just creation is just a surefire way to make yourself hate writing. Um, but you got to find the balance, right? And the balance right now for most of us is not in the place that it should be. It is so heavily skewed towards consumption and just mindless, meaningless consumption. So I'm ranting now, but hey, you don't come to a Doug sprint and not expect a rant. Sylvan, thanks for joining us. Enjoy that walk with your dog. Matal, returning my phone onto black and white mode is the best thing I've ever done to curb screen time. Yes, and find something that tracks how much screen time you actually use. I downloaded for a while a minimalist phone app that completely overrides the look of your phone and turns all your apps into just white text on a black background, like no icons or anything, because there's science and money behind the icons themselves that get you to click on them. It's all working against us, and I don't want to be a pessimistic guy. Ashley, I saw your comment there. I'm just running out of time, and truthfully, when it comes to that, because my work has been stolen by specifically Meta for training, and like I'm not even going to get started on AI rant because it's not the time nor the place. I need a lot longer for that. Who needs a TED talk when you have a Doug talk? All right, everybody. Let me get the right tab up here because our sprint is starting. I'll see you in 20 minutes. for the last sprint of the day. Bye. All right, everybody. That is our third and final sprint of the day done. I ran out of stuff that I pasted into the sprint, so I just switch over to where I have it in my Dabble project. Keep going there, but I got -19 plus -40, -59 for for that sprint in total. I see that Keo had to go, but I appreciate that she was able to join us. And NJ attempts to write an AI horror. Hey, it's a blossoming genre, assuming you mean horror about AI. If you want to write horror with AI, I mean, you do you, but I don't think that's what you meant. David 498, awesome. Athena 456 for a total of 1362. Great work. Hope 222. I ran out of steam, but not sweat. It's too hot. I spent a lot of time outside yesterday. It's Canada. It was Canada Day up here in Canada, and took it to do some landscaping, some garden work, and I'm still dehydrated. Reed got pulled away on that last one, but that's okay. That happened. You're here for the sprints, and that's all that matters. Ashley got 781 for 2,148 total in the sprints and a daily total of 3,759. That's awesome. Renee got 144, but deleted close to 200 words. Horror with AI is a thing that haunts and kills NJ. Yeah, yeah, it's a popular niche in the genre right now, both movies and, well, I should say it's popular in movies. I haven't read any books about it, but that's just because I haven't looked for any, so they might exist. Hope saying, well done, everyone. Yes, I agree, because I've got 307 for 1369 total. That's fantastic. I will, as a little shameless plug to end it, I'm going to say, everyone head on over to dabbleu.com to join Dabble U Campus for two reasons. There, if you're a Dabble Premium subscriber, or if you just want to join in on the fun of our monthly live workshops, our premium courses, our bonus content, our community, our newsletter, all the good stuff happening in W Academy, you can do that there. That I am the dean of W Academy, and I'd love to see you over there. But on top of that, next week, Hank and Abby are kicking off Indie Summer, where they're talking about different things every week that an indie author has to understand, take advantage of, master in certain cases if they want to be successful. And even if you don't think that indie publishing is for you, there is so much overlap between indie publishing and traditional publishing these days that the skills that you can gain from Indie Summer are just going to translate to a great traditional writing career as well. So do that over at w.com. You can join the Indie Summer Challenge. It's on the left, and that content starts next week. There's going to be a sort of lesson video and content going up at the start of the week, and then there will be a Q&A session every Friday throughout the summer. And I'll even be joining in for some of the fun. This is very much Hank and Abby's project while I focus on W Academy. But of course, I can't stay away. You all know that I love indie publishing and that I love helping out with some writing stuff. So I'm going to drop in for a workshop or two, a show or two here or there. So you'll see me around for it. NJ, how do you find the podcast and such on Dabble U? You know what? We got a minute here. Why don't I show you? I'll pop that up. So, I mean, here's Indie Summer. You can go in. So if you land on dabbleu.com, you're gonna, if you're logged in, you'll see your own feed. If you're not, then you'll see some of the stuff here. To join Indie Summer, you're gonna want to go here, and you'll be able to click join space, I think it says in the top right. But if you're looking for the podcast and whatnot, I want to say, here we go, under resources. There you'll find our podcast. I think some of these might actually be a little bit outdated. So you can also, let me make my face big again so you can see here, because our podcast is available on all major podcast platforms. Let me just, sorry, Craft Cafe podcast. So you'll find that on Apple Podcasts. You'll find it here on YouTube. We do all the live streams, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Spotify, anywhere. You just look for Storycraft Cafe. NJ, Indie Summer, I do believe is only going to be on Dabble U, or at least it's going to be there first. The videos will be here on the channel for you to watch, but the live streams, I don't think the live streams are going to be happening here on YouTube. They will be over in W Campus. Awesome. Okay. Well, with that said, I need a screen break, and I think that's an other important thing. Make sure you're taking care of your eyes, your brain. Don't spend all day staring at a screen. You got to get up, stretch the legs, look at something else for a while, and then come back and do some work because a lot of us are working today. So anyway, thank you for joining me for the last 3 sprints. I was very productive. We were all very productive here. It was a blast as per usual. Hank is hosting sprints tomorrow. Swing by W Campus. I'll see you posting over there, or if you're in the academy, I'll hang out there. Otherwise, I will see you all next week. Bye for now, everyone.